Okay. All right. Who is ready for some Indycar? Welcome to round 2 of the 1990 season. The Long Beach Grand Prix. Oh boy. I don't know what I've gotten myself into. I hope everybody's doing well out there. But welcome back. I know a lot of folks have been waiting a while for this one, as I have as well. Good morning, good afternoon. It's a little bit later than usual, but I'm happy to see so many folks here today. Round 2 of the 1990 kart season. And I think I've built up some expectations based off last time that I hope I can live up to, but it's going to be a real struggle today. But thank you for jumping in. Round 2 here, the Long Beach Grand Prix, and it's such a quick jump into the season. We go straight from Phoenix to Long Beach and then Indianapolis. And I'm a bit more optimistic about Indianapolis. I think Long Beach here today is going to be a pretty big struggle. Did Ted make it 98 laps? So if you weren't here last time, and maybe you've only caught the 89 season that I did, this is a bit more hardcore this season. Full distance races, same difficult AI and everything like that, but also racing with full damage this season instead of the arcade damage from last season. So the smallest of wall taps and slight contact with anything and everything very easily can ruin the car, as well as having random breakdowns. I could be doing perfectly well, not abusing anything. Of course, it gets worse if you abuse stuff, but I could be just driving really nice and the car could just break. And last time out at Phoenix, that was a really good race. I watched a little bit of it back today just to make sure I remembered everything that happened. And what a good race that was. And so hopefully I can continue that here today, but this is going to be really, really, really hard. Today we're at the Long Beach Grand Prix, so let me jump straight in to our championship season and we'll continue that. So last time out at Phoenix, take a quick gander back at those results. Ryan Axelson, our driver, finished second to Michael Andretti. And I think I watched it again, like I said, and I think I could have got him in the final couple of laps, but we had a yellow flag wave with like 2 laps to go because of a crash, and that ended the race. So I didn't really get that shot at trying to pass him, but I think I was a little bit quicker. So second place, though, I'm still pretty happy with that. 16 points. I didn't lead any laps, though. I was working through traffic the whole day and was able to pass folks and everything, get up front there. But Michael Andretti got the win, and it was a good race overall. But now we're at Long Beach, and like I said, from here we've got 2 more ovals after this, which I'm pretty excited about. Obviously, Indianapolis is going to be an awesome race, hopefully. Hopefully an awesome race, but Milwaukee as well right after. I think I can be fairly strong at those. But Long Beach here today, I need to be good here for myself to have some confidence, because we have a lot of street tracks in the season. We've dropped Pocono from the 1989 season, and in its place we've got Vancouver, which is an extremely tight and twisty street track. We've got Denver, which is another, it's a little bit wider, but it's still a tricky street track. We're also going to be racing at Detroit Downtown Circuit, which is a fast street track. Anything with the walls really close to you is going to be a tricky time. And so this will be the indicator. Can I make it? Can I make it to the end of the Long Beach Grand Prix with my wings attached, my tires attached? I think if I can make it to the end, like always, I'll do decent, but getting there is going to be the struggle, and I really hope I can do it. I really, really hope I can do it. I've done some practicing, and it's been mixed thus far, but I'm hoping the pressure of streaming it and everything will inspire me to do pretty good. But appreciate that. I saw a couple folks re-up some memberships. I very much appreciate that, as always. So these are the points. Nothing really different than the results from last race. Michael Andretti got that pole, so he had... or no, he didn't get the pole. So it was Danny Sullivan that got the pole last race. That's right. So he got an extra point for that. Put him at 7 points, down in 7th place behind Emo. and Ari Leyendijk, Rick Mears, Bobby Ray Hall in third, and Ryan Axelson in second. Might be the Michael versus Ryan round 2. That's who we were fighting. Michael Andretti, it's who I was fighting for the championship in the last season, and it came down to that final Laguna Seca crazy race. So we'll see. But here it is, the Long Beach Street Circuit. This is the 1991, I believe, is the year they started running this version. And it's the only version, really, unless you get down to the fountain type versions. It's the only version of the older circuit we have. This is one of the few circuits this season that is different than it was actually in 1990. There was a little chicane before, what is that, turn 7 down the backstretch. There was like a, not really a chicane, like a 4-corner city block. 92 to 98, thank you, Taka. I love this layout, and I think it's I kind of prefer it to the one they ran in real life, so I'm not too upset to be running this one. It's a really fast little street circuit, 1.5 miles, and that means we'll be doing 105 laps today. That's right. Street course, road race, 105 laps. Almost feels like an oval type race. But they're quick laps. They're under a minute at speed. And as long as we don't get too many yellow flags, which might happen, it should be a fairly quick race for a road race. It'll definitely be longer than last race, either way. But I'll do a couple quick laps of practice. I just want to make sure everything works. I've played around with the setup a bit, so I discovered that in my 89 setup, I ran pretty light downforce, and it's just tricky to get around traffic to make sure the car sticks every corner. So I've actually maxed out the downforce this time around, and it means I'm a little down on top speed, but it's all in the effort to finish the race successfully, running a bit extra downforce. So I hope it doesn't come back to bite me and that I'm just too slow to pass, but I've been decent in practice so far. Now, this is not the one with the downhill section. I'll show you the track here. We'll come out of the pits. Last season, very famously, I don't know what it would be, but last season I sped in the pits. I think it was my only speeding penalty of the season. I got a lot of flack for that in the comments, but I'm gonna hopefully not do that mistake this year. That's an easy one to avoid. What is kind of tough though is the pit lane here at Long Beach ends, I believe, right here at the banners on the left, and I tested that to make sure it's true. Kind of weird, there's no line to tell you where the speed limit ends, but it's an 80-mile-per-hour speed limit, of course, and just try my best to avoid speeding. If you hit even 1 mile an hour above it, it'll get you for speeding. All right, so we're winding onto the back straightaway. So this is where I think my best passing opportunity is going to be. We'll come onto the back stretch, flying down this straight. I think I have a little bit of a leg up, and this is where there would be like a 4-corner kind of complex right before this turn, but we get the straight braking into it, and then come up to the final few corners, which are exactly as they are these days, just a bit wider in Indycar 2, not quite as tight on the hairpin here. But then that'll pump us out onto Shoreline Drive. And this is all the same as it is these days, but this will be all flat out. Just want to make sure I don't over-rev the car. Up to 6th gear down to the end of the stretch. Brake just before the advertisements, and then we go to the right here, so where the modern track goes to the left and past the fountain and all that, we go through a little kind of chicane, and then we meet up with the modern circuit right about here. So it's a much shorter track, really action-packed, and a lot of fun to drive, but very, very scary with full damage. It is incredibly easy to break the car. Things feel pretty good. I hope it all sounds and looks good. As good as it can look. I was happy to see on the last stream that a few folks were like pleasantly surprised or enjoyed the graphic style of the game. I guess it kind of fits a retro aesthetic these days that some people like a lot. Whoa, that was bad. I don't want to do stuff like that. Yeah, and in case you're wondering, this does not have force feedback. Force feedback really wasn't a thing in 1995 when this game came out, so at least not in home DOS computer sims. So there's no force feedback, but for anybody that's raced this with a wheel, they'll probably tell you that after a while you get a weird feeling for it, even though there's no force feedback. I can kind of feel it, but it's 100% visual, so you have to really, really pay attention as the car drives. I'll do one more lap here and I'll just practice a quick pit in, and then we'll call that a successful practice session. I haven't hit the wall yet, which is good. "56-second laps on full fuel's not too bad." We got Scott Brayton in front of me here. I think I easily have a top 10 car, but it's all going to be about finishing. And like stuff like this, I'm going to have to be very patient today with lap traffic. There's no forcing my way past. Pretty much have to wait till the back section of the course here to get around folks. But it's just going to be how it is if I hope to survive. There's just not a lot of opportunities to overtake before then. Alright, I'll try a quick pit in here. First pit stall as always, which always makes it a little bit tricky, but I guess you probably won't speed then if you're the first pit stall, but there we go. Right to the guys. Right to the guys. Alright. So it feels pretty good. So I don't know what I did for a qualifying time last year. Apparently I've gotten a 53.3 with another profile before. I don't think I'll be able to do that with the setup I've got. But I will jump into qualifying here. And I'll load up my race setup. And we'll lower the fuel. And I will, for qualifying here, I'm going to lower my wings a little bit. Just to get a little bit more top speed. I don't have to worry too much about the tires coming out from under me during qualifying, or if they do, it's not, as much of a big deal. But I'm going to go down to 15 on the front and rear to give myself a little more top speed in hopes that I can start up front. I really would like to start away from the traffic. But we'll look at the preliminary qualifying. Remember, as always, a random selection of half the field is going to be on the track with me right now, and so they can improve their times as well as me. But the other half is kind of SOL. They'll be wherever they are here. Currently, Michael Andretti's got a 53 flat, which I'm going to have to set a record lap to beat that. Danny Sullivan second, Alan Sir Jr. in third, Rick Mears in fourth, and Scott Goodyear in fifth. If I look down, I think I can get up into the top 10, definitely, if I put a good lap together, but we'll have to see. Definitely need to get into the 53s, it looks like, so hopefully I can do that. All right, but we'll jump out. I think I've got 8 minutes to qualify, or 10 minutes. 10 minutes to qualify and try to do the best lap possible. Yeah, Michael's been, he's so tough to beat. But that's how, it's cool that you can kind of relive these years in a game. As a big-time IndyCar fan, and especially from the 90s, it's 100% what draws me to it. I've played it for years, so, the graphics and stuff, I'm just used to them. The driving itself, I think, is amazing for the time. It's obviously a bit outdated these days. But it's purely to put you in this time period and have a good representation of it. There's nothing else like this game. Alright, we'll try to get a banker lap so that I'm definitely not going to start last. And then see if I can do a little bit better. 25 cars here today. That's how many cars ran this real race, I believe. And it's not the same exact 25 that ran this race in real life. It's just kind of the first 25 from my roster here, just to make sure the championship still works, but pretty representative of the drivers that would have raced at this track. All right, outlap is P25, so hopefully I can improve from there. Come down to the first corner. Oh, okay, that's the light downforce. Oh no, that's the car. Okay, well, we're gonna roll out the backup car. Okay, you see how easy it is. I just understeered into the wall there. That is 100% my fault, but I might go back on my wing decision here then. Hopefully that's the one hit to the wall during this one. All right. Timer's still running though, so We're down to 8 minutes now. Axelson to the backup car. I pushed the brakes pretty late there, and I got the rear end started coming out a little bit, and then I just drove straight into the wall. That's 100% my fault. Marcos, thank you. So last year I got a 53.8. So I at least got to do that, right? All right. I need a banker. Timer, 10 minutes feels like a good amount of time to do laps around a 1 minute per lap circuit until you're crashing a bunch. And I'm sure the Sunoco Papyrus team here is going to run out of backup cars. But you see how easy it is? Somehow I have to do 105 laps while racing other cars and not do something silly like that. Understeer there as well, man. Alright. Let's at least do a sub-minute lap. Hope for that much. Break a little bit early. I'm just going to get a banker in. I should be able to pretty easily get in front of half the field, I'd say. I hope. A shameful defending champion starts from last, but I'm sure you all would enjoy that. Really early on the brakes there, but I'm just going to finish this lap and at least get a time on the board that's hopefully not going to be dead last still. A lot of the tracks in first gear, it's a pretty slow, a bunch of slow corners and a couple clusters, and then there's those two long straightaways. Whoa, okay, well it's a 55.8, but that still puts me last. Oh no. Alright, I'll just push slightly harder this time. It's 2 seconds slower than my quali last year. What's going on? I mean, the temperature could be a little bit different. So there is weather in this, not rain and stuff. It was meant to be in the game, but wasn't included. There are different conditions that you can see on the overview screen. So it could be a little warmer, a little cooler. That could affect the car here. I think this is a bit better of a lap. Just try to finish this out. Work down the fuel. The tires still, I guess, would be coming up to temperature on that first lap, so hopefully this gets a bit better. There we go, 21st though. Oh no. Come on. That was a little fast into turn one. You want to yank the wheel, but I would spin the car out if you pull the wheel when you're traveling too fast. First though, so I'm not the last car, but far from the front. Oh no, I hit the wing. Try to finish this lap, but that's going to really hurt the car. You can see some damage on the nose there. This is going to be a slog today, isn't it? Car actually feels surprisingly okay, but I think it's going to be in a pretty bad situation. That was a 55.7. Let's see how this lap feels, and I might have to try to replace the front wing. I'm going to go full soft on the front bar to try to get the car to grip in the corners. I know I could just reset the car, but feels like I'm cheating a little bit. It's my mistake that I hit the wall. It's so understeery, but there's not that many fast corners, so this might still turn out okay. That wall tap was so minor, too. A lot of understeer there. I'm going to try to raise the rear bar. It's a 56. I don't know if I'm going to be able to improve. I don't think I have quite enough time to get in the pits and change the wing, do I? I think I have to. Alright, gonna come in this time. Come in this time, try to take no fuel. And we'll change the front wing. Change tires, change the front wing. And I think I'll have just enough time to get around and do one more lap. I really don't want to start in 21st. Alright. 10 gallons, 8 gallons. So we'll come in, change tires, change the wing. Should be able to do it fairly quick, and then come back out and try to get at least one lap. Come on, boys. Come on, come on. I need at least a minute and a half, I would say. A minute 20. They're fumbling with the front wing, trying to get the screws in. I really hope I don't pay for that later. Alright. Come out. Right, I have enough time. I might have enough time to get 2 laps in. Or no, I definitely won't. I'm just gonna have 1 lap here to do this. And you're right in the chat, I saw Paulina. So I probably should have kept my tires on because these are gonna be cold. There's no way I'm gonna get them fully warmed up by the time we come around, but we'll try. I gotta raise my front bar a bit too. It's a bit understeery. Or oversteery. Alright, crew change the front wing. We'll come around. I'm going to have enough time to get 1 lap in before the checker. And better hope this is better than the 21st starting position. Alright, starting my last qualifying lap. Hard on the brakes here. Rev the engine a little bit. It doesn't matter in qualifying, I think. Slightly wide there. Really revving it out. I don't know, it didn't feel super fast through the first few corners. Try to nail the ending of the lap here. Onto the front stretch. It's going to be a toss-up. I don't know if that's going to be better. The car felt pretty slow. The tires didn't have a lot of grip. Oh, it was better. Still not very good. Ah, what an intense qualifying. 15th, though. Oh, boy. I think that'll at least start me on the right side of the grid, which is very good. Oh, jeez. Ari there, squeezing me. It is understeery, but I have to err on the side of understeer and safety, or else we very much risk issues. Okay, I'm happy I'm not starting 21st, but it's honestly not that much better. Mid-pack, yeah, T1's going to be tricky, but luckily at this track, because the hairpin at the very end of the lap, you do get, the field tends to be slightly more spread out. Famous last words, but... Alright, we'll exit the car here. We will take a look here at the standings then. So here's our starting grid. And of course, it's Michael Andretti getting the pole. So he gets another point. He gets another point up front to add to his season total for getting the pole. And who knows, he's probably going to go on and win the thing too. But Danny Sullivan starts second ahead of Axelson Jr., who was always very, very good at Long Beach. So Axelson Jr. will hopefully repeat. I want him to be better than Michael today. So if I can't get up there, Hopefully Allenser Jr. can put the fight to Michael or Danny. I don't really have a preference. Rick Mears then starting in 4th ahead of Scott Goodyear, rookie season for Scott. Starting back in 5th ahead of Teo Fabi and John Andretti, the 2 Porsches side by side there. Are starting nose to tail. Eddie Cheever, another rookie in IndyCar at least, starting back in 8th. Emerson Fittipaldi starting in 9th, and Ari Leyendijk in 10th. Raul Boisel filling in for Scott Pruitt is in 11th. Bobby Rahals in 12th. Mario Andretti, not as good as his son is doing right now, back in 13th. And then Dominic Dobson, 14th, will start right in front of me, or next to me. And Dominic is always tough. He's got a lot of aggression. Scott Brayton's behind, Didier Thays, Roberto Guerrero, Tony Bettenhausen Jr., Jeff Wood, Hiro Matsushita. Is it Matsushita or Matsushita? I've heard it both ways. AJ Foyt back in 22nd. This is not his forte. Randy Lewis in 23rd, Dean Hall in 24th, and Mike Groff brings up the rear. That might be my worst qualifying of all time in one of these streams. Matsushita. Okay. Matsushita. I just know him as King Hero, so we'll probably just call him that. It is Hero's first season. I did last season call somebody else Hero the whole time. That's going to be our starting grid for today. So 15th starting position. That'll change things up a little bit. That'll make it very interesting and potentially a big issue. Potentially a lot of issues off the line here. We'll jump into the race. So I'm going to put my race setup on full wings. I hope I don't pay for that. We got soft tires all around, no stagger, of course. But yeah, I gotta go full downforce for this one to make sure the car is safe. You saw what happened. I was pushing a bit too much. The low downforce might have been better for qualifying. Yeah, the way I customized this car set a bit so that oval-only drivers like Allenser Sr. and Gary Bettenhausen will just be at Indy. We'll just be at Indy. But here we go. So, plan for this one: 105 laps. I gotta make it at least 35 laps on a stint. I think I can do about 40 laps. So, I think there might be quite a few cautions in this. Very much hope they're not caused by myself. And so, who knows how the strategy will work out. We'll have to make a call at the time that a caution comes out whether or not I should pit and or stay out, and figure it out as we go. But if the race somehow goes green to checker, I'll pit probably around lap 35 and again at lap 70, and that'll be the race. And then last thing, I'll say it before we start, because it's the same thing as the last race too. I do have a couple restart rules. If I get a mechanical failure or an AI does something that's just unavoidable, like a game glitch or just something that feels like it was unfair, in the first stint of the race, I will restart the race. But if I make a mistake, if we're further than the first stint of the race and something happens, that's going to be it. So this is fairly hardcore. But I want to make a bit of a show of it. And if in the first corner the game glitches out or something just happens, like the car blows a turbo on the outlap, we're going to restart the race. So hopefully none of that happens and we have a glorious race as I did last time. But you never know. You never know. So I think that's it. So let's get started. Round number 2, the Long Beach Grand Prix. We got our pace lap. Start us off, put it down to 1 boost, and just try not to rear end. Looks like Mario's in front of me here, so just try not to rear end him on this pace lap. Appreciate everybody being here. I saw somebody in the chat asked about the chassis and tires. They do make a difference. The game shipped with Firestone and Goodyear tires, which in 1990 was the only Goodyear was running in IndyCar, but I do have some cars on Firestone just to make the graphics look different. But those tires do work differently. The chassis also work differently. I think the Lola might be the most oversteery, whereas the Raynar, it's kind of balanced, something like that. I don't actually really know offhand, but they do have differences in them. Very minor, though. It's not going to make or break everything, unless you're going for records. But it's a lot of fun. So, all right, I'm just going to try to survive the first few laps. It's ultimate granny mode to try not to do anything too silly and just get through the start of the race here and not crash, not blow up the car. If I can make it to the first pit stop, that'll be very good. And I think I'll be quick enough to get the car at least up a few rows on pace alone. And you never know what's going to happen. Come through the final few corners, though, to start round number 2, 1990. Luckily on the inside, I'll probably actually pass a couple of these cars on the outside because of that. There we go. Work my way. Green flag is out. Start of the race. Side by side with Mario as we come to the line on Shoreline. Get nice and tight here. Head down to the first corner, brake plenty early. Oh, I even still launched it on Ari there. I wasn't really meaning to do that, but I'll take the spot anyway. Kind of block him into the second corner. There we go, 3 wide in front. Eddie Cheever and Mo. Oh, here comes Ari up the inside. This is a precarious place. I had to really back out of it. The AI loved to squeeze you there. So I gained a few spots, lost a few spots. We'll see how it all works out. Come onto the back stretch. Got a good run here on Bobby in front. He works to the inside, though. I just don't want to chance that. Full race, 105 laps. There's no reason to dive bomb T1. All right. Really slow through the end of the lap there. I might have enough speed to pass Ari here again. He's going to pull away from me a bit, though. Come across the line. So I'm up to P13. He's picked up a few spots on the opening lap. He brakes a bit later this time, so not quite as easy to jump on through the first couple corners. All right, everybody's stringing out a little bit here. Of course, lap traffic's a big deal, but if I'm mid-pack, then it's not going to be quite the same way. I might actually have cars come up on me for once. Ari's doing some kind of weaving there. All right, try to pass him here down the backstretch. Yeah, a bit more speed. I just am faster through here, maybe better exit. Brake a bit later just to get the spot. So pass Ari there up to 12th. We've got Raul Boisel in front of me now for True Sports. It's just so nerve-wracking. It's so easy to crash the car in this. Just going to try my best to make it through this whole race. I don't know if I've ever done a full Grand Prix at Long Beach with full damage. But today will be the day. Alright, I'm definitely quicker than a few of these cars, so I'm going to just patiently get around them and not worry too much. The gap to the leader is already 13 seconds, but I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, got a nice run on Raul as well. Get up the inside into the braking zone. Push the brakes just a little bit. Interesting line from Cheever in front. And the target car, the whole car is like a bullseye. You couldn't tell from this angle. So really, the real-life paint scheme, you should look it up. Eddie Cheever's 1990 IndyCar paint scheme. It's quite iconic, but I think it was hard to tell what the sponsor was, so they changed it to arguably much more iconic liveries, so I think it worked out for everybody. So I'm going to keep a healthy distance from the walls. It's going to be painful to watch probably some of this stuff, but a lot of understeer there. Come on. Maybe need to give it a little rear bar. See if I can keep just picking them off here lap after lap. This will work out pretty well if I can just make my way to the front this way. It's a safe spot to pass. Around Cheever, he's a bit closer to me though. Alright, up into the top 10. Got a good run on Goodyear on the exit there. Get side by side with him. He's going to pull on me though. I do not like going side by side. In the final lap, racing for a good position, I would do that, but it's just too easy to make contact. I'll get him here on the back section of the course. I think I could pass into this right-hander too if I was really on it. I'll set him up over under. Here we go. Much better exit. All right, get in front of Goodyear here. Just try to break away a little bit and then set my sights on whoever's in front. Bobby Rahal, it looks like. All right, I think through the start. Got through the start of the race. Cross the line here, take a look at the pit board. 100 laps to go. It's so weird to see that when you're on a road course. Or a street track. But want to try to at least get to lap 80 laps to go before the first pit stop. Or like 75 laps to go. At least 75, 70 would be better actually. So 70 laps to go would be the goal. Over-rev the car a little bit there. Good start though. I've gotten up 5 positions, 6 positions since the start itself. Let's try to get into a pace here. Yellow flag. Okay. Yellow flag comes out right away, of course. So no passing. So some kind of incident. Who was it? Looks like Raul Boisel's out. Raul Boisel has had an accident. Yeah, we're definitely staying out. It's way too early to pit, so I'm down to 1 boost. We'll go into fuel save here. And that'll actually be good. It'll help me catch up to this group in front that was a bit far up the road. So already a yellow flag. Much different, much different than the 89 season. I don't think we had any yellow flags at Long Beach. Could be wrong. Okay, we'll take a quick peek at what happened to Raul. I don't want to spend too much time on these, because if this race has a lot of yellows, it'll be a very long one. But we will see if we can find quickly what happened to him. He was behind me, so go up the road, look for the red car of Raul Boisel. Oh, there he is. Looks like a big accident. All right, so coming through the first few corners. See what happened to him here. Come around onto the backstretch. Wow, lost it real good there. Brayton almost gets into him. That's going to be race over for Raul. Yeah, bit of oversteer, just slid into the wall. I hope I don't... You know, I guess it's racing if I ended up behind him. A car that does that directly in front of me. That's just racing at that point. It is an extremely realistic damage model, and that's part of the issue with it. Oh, Rick Mears is out! Alright, well that helps me out, so I get 1 position. Rick Mears out with some sort of failure. Just saw a yellow car in the pits there, and I thought it might be Rick. It was. We're still catching up to the pace car here. So Rick is out of the race. That gets me up to 8th position. I could do with a few more failures, although I'd love to see Michael out of the race. Those failures are going to be super important, though. If I DNF at some point, I'll at least be in front of Rick Mears. And IndyCar, you know, you pay points for the top 12, right? I should know that. But I think it's the top 12 that get points, so... Who knows how many cars will be running at the finish. And, yeah, if I can just be running at the finish, then I'll obviously do quite well. Still catching up to the pace car. Where is he? The leaders must have just passed the pit lane when the yellow came out. There they are. Up the road there. All right. Restarts will be interesting. I got to try to... I think the general start went well, so I'll just do the same thing and hope it all works out. Always single file restarts though, which is good. Yeah, survival, that's... You'll notice something very different from my driving style last season versus this season, especially on the road and street. The street courses specifically, I have to just be super cautious. I think that's the only way to make it through these things. So, nice and easy does it, and just get to the end of the race, and hopefully benefit from some stuff like that. I still feel like I can probably pass at least a couple of these cars in front on pace. So we'll see how that works out. But top 5 is definitely not unrealistic here if everything works out for me. Yeah, definitely will be a little bit maybe better experience than last season, but it's kind of day to day for me. Some days I'm a lot better, a lot better at this than other days. All right, you have to really keep your distance in IndyCar too, because the AI love to just check up into each other. Hopefully we get the green next time by. It's a long yellow flag. I guess big accident to clean up. There we go. One more lap to green. So it'll be 95 laps to go once we take the green flag, and I got 32 gallons of fuel. So this yellow is definitely going to help quite a bit, save 2 or 3 laps of fuel. Sneak some coffee on the pace laps. Yeah, there's a lot of laps to go. It's a long race. If it went green to checker, it would be about 2 hours. They're all always about 2 hours long, but with yellow flags, I mean, you could easily get into a 3-hour race if we have a lot of these. Yeah, boost back up's a good reminder. Alright, come to the end of the stretch here. So we got Bobby Rahal and Teo Fabi. I think both of the Porsches are in front. I got Scott Goodyear behind me, but he was so slow off the start. So I'd be surprised if he's a threat at all here, depending on the start. Full boost again. Come through the final few corners here, and just take it easy here on the start. It's still many, many laps to go. I don't need to do anything crazy. Come through the final corner. Green flag. Pulled tires, of course. Alright, come across the line. Nice and orderly restart, and Scott Goodyear is nowhere to be found behind me. Didn't really get a jump on Rahal, though. Cold tires again, gotta remember that. A little loose. The tires come up. Alright, Rahal's being held up quite a bit from John Andretti now in front, so we'll see how this works here down the backstretch. Oh, Rahal's gonna look to the inside too. Maybe could have got by both of them there, but not worth the risk. Andretti swings out wide. He's trying to look for a place around Rahal now. Right onto the front stretch, side by side with John Andretti. I don't know if we'll be able to out-drag the Porsche. He's going to come around the outside. Kind of like Goodyear did, but he's a bit faster. Well, I'm really down on top speed. We could, if it gets really bad, so I'm very late on the brakes there. If it gets really bad, I can adjust the wings at the pit stop, so we can make some adjustments to the car if it feels like I'm stalling out progress. Probably go down a couple degrees on both sides. Alright, get a run on John Andretti here. I'm just absolutely rapid down the backstretch. Side by side, though, into the braking zone. Not quite as much of a pushover as the cars in the back were. Block the inside line here to the end of the lap. There we go. All right, up to 7th then. Rahal pulling away. It says Teo Fabi's in front of me. Ooh, I just passed Teo. It's up to 6th. Teo must have been in the pits. Maybe a problem for the Porsche. A lot of stuff happening here early on. I mean, I passed quite a few cars on pace, but at least a couple positions now on failures, DNFs. So this is good. It's all going well so far. One spot out of the top 5. See a couple cars up the road. Looks like one of the Penske's is ahead of Bobby Rahal. I'll change the display here in a second. Yeah, so Emerson Fittipaldi's up in 4th, ahead of Bobby Rahal. See if they start scrapping with each other, and who knows. But it seems like Rahal's got some serious speed up the road, so pace-wise, might be in about 6th. Over-revving a bit there. I gotta hit it before 13,000 to be safe, not break the car. .8 seconds off the leader. We'll take a look. My pit board will show me here each lap the gap to the car in front as well. Yeah, saving the turbo. So 5.4 seconds off of Rahal that time. It's not so good there. That corner is one of the easiest to hit the inside wall just because it kind of sneaks up on you. The walls are not rounded, so they're like sharp corners on them, so you have to put a little extra distance to make sure you don't hit it. It's very hard to be precise in IndyCar too. It's not like a modern driving game where you can really put the car in the same exact spot every lap. Because of the lack of feel and maybe fidelity in the physics, it's just very, very hard to put it in the exact right spot, so you have to give a little bit of extra space, or at least I do. Luckily, the tracks are billboard smooth, so we don't have any bumps to worry about. Right. John Andretti's not falling off from behind me too much, but Bobby Rahal's pulling away right now. Long race to go, no need to panic. Just put the laps together. We got so many laps to do, and when traffic, as always, when traffic becomes involved, it very much changes the race, so we will see what happens then. Yeah, but Rahal's gone now. Can't even see him. 6.8 seconds up. So he's pulled out a couple seconds in the last 2 laps. I mean, Bobby and Al Unser Jr. are teammates, and Al is always really good here, or was always very good at Long Beach. I think he holds the record for the most wins, if I'm not mistaken. So, makes sense that Bobby would be quick today. Much better than his 89 performance, I think. In our series, anyway. Right, I'm just going to look at the gap to Andretti behind me. 4.2 seconds last time. Make sure I'm pulling away from him so I don't really have to think about it. Just do my laps here. Falling into a bit of a hole, but again, we'll catch some lap traffic probably in a handful of laps, and If you want some spicy action, I think that'll bring it. Oh, right to the inside wall there. I gotta be really careful about that and over-revving. Yeah, it is John Andretti. Later went on to race in NASCAR for years and years. Was pretty successful too, racing for Petty for many years. Raced Top Fuel dragsters at one point as well. John was kind of all over the place. He was a great guy, and passed away just a few years ago. Yeah, IMSA too. He raced pretty much everything that you could get your hands on, and he did quite well in all of it. He never, won a ton of championships or anything like that, but he was definitely not a field filler by any stretch of the imagination. On a good day, John was a tough guy to beat. If you watch this, I have watched this race somewhat recently, this 1990 Long Beach Grand Prix, and he's very much like an afterthought, unfortunately, with the Porsche team. He's got Teo Fabi's backup car. I think coming into 1990, I mentioned this in the last stream a little bit, but Porsche was they submitted a design to Indycar kart, and they didn't approve it. For some reason, I don't actually know what was illegal about it, but kart didn't approve the design, so they kind of had to scrap something together. And I think John ran the 1989 car, and it's not even painted properly. The decals on the front very much have Teo Fabi's number 4 and then a 1 slap next to it. It wasn't until Indy that they had their proper car. Should not have gone down to first there. All right, we'll change for position in front. Bobby's gotten around Emerson, it looks like. Oh, back around, so they're dueling with each other. That's good for me. They'll hold each other up a bit if they do something like that. Back and forth. Could always collide with each other too. Won't hope for that, but I wouldn't be disappointed. Yeah, pulling away from Andretti behind, so it's not really a threat. It seems like I've found my equilibrium here. I've got a 6th with the grid that we've got right now, and keep in mind with IndyCar 2, the drivers can change over the course of the race. They can have to be nursing a car because of mechanical failures, or just based on their aggression. They could kind of go, towards the end of the race, fall off as you would in real life just from being tired. Or it could have the opposite, where they get really fast right towards the end. They preserve their car the whole race. So all of those different things can happen. So even though it feels a bit hopeless right now, sitting here in 6th, losing out to the 2 in front, it will definitely change. I promise you. Whether it's me hitting the wall or the race continuing on, it will look different by the end. And I do see a lapped car in front. It might be AJ Foyt. Looks like a black and red car. Haven't really been keeping an eye on my lap times. It's a good way to make yourself push a bit too hard. Just try to put solid corners together. Take it corner by corner. The lap time will work itself out. Yeah, the most important thing, you're exactly right, Taka, it's to finish, which is not going to be easy today. Especially now I got to think about these lapped cars, and it seems like I'm probably going to have a tough time passing them on the front stretch. We'll see, though. Come around. This is Mike Groff, I think. Gaining on him just a little bit here. Got a slipstream. See if I can get him down into turn 1, hopefully. Or else I'm going to have to wait pretty much till the back section of the course. Alright. Mike is very slow there. The inside here into turn 3. I do not like that move. We'll save that one for only the slowest of the competitors. That would not work on some of the faster cars. Now, yeah, it looks like Ray Hall's back in front of me here. We'll have to see. They're probably also starting to get through some other lap traffic, so that might cause them to move around. Allenser Jr. is out. Oh, no. I mean, that's good for me, I guess. It'll get me into the top 5 here, but he was one of my big hopes to beat Andretti today. Oh, so Junior's out as well. A lot of mechanical failures so far. Absolute scenes at Long Beach so far. A little bit wide there. Yeah, where was Little Al? Little Al had some issues at Phoenix as well, right? So not a good start for the real life champion to our season here. I think in real life he was very dominant right off the get-go. Whole bunch of lap traffic in front. I can see Junior there in the pits. So Emmo's up to 3rd with Bobby Rahal behind, and then I assume it's definitely Michael Andretti up front. I'll try to scroll up in the order in a second here to see who's with him. Hopefully Michael's in 2nd. That would be the hope. Ugh. Hey, if everybody has a failure out front and I can just baby the car home and win, I would gladly take that. I don't think that'll be the case, though. I think there will be a few who do not DNF from the race, and I hope I'm one of them. There were a lot of DNFs in IndyCar in this time period. It was a lot more common than it is these days. All right, Dean Hall here directly in front. Hopefully I can get him on shoreline. Oh, I'm even slower than these guys. I might have to play with the wings at some point. So I'm already over half a lap behind the leader, and I have no pace on these guys on the front stretch. Once again in that really tricky corner. I was a little bit better executed that time, though. Yeah, that Dean Hall car, that's another one that's... I would go search for a picture of that. Dean Hall, 1990. Really cool livery. White car with blue stripes. Unlike this car with blue stripes, it's a different one. Alright, get around whoever that was for the front stretch. Hopefully we can keep him behind here. I am very, very slow in a straight line. Keep that position at least. Alright, lots of traffic now. Getting on the lighter fuel load. Car's starting to feel a bit more alive. Think about changing the bars if it feels like it's starting to get away from me at all. Got Roberto Guerrero in front here. Patrick Racing car. Roberto with Alfa Romeo power. They did not have a good time in the 1990 season, although he's got enough power to pull away from me here. I could have done that same move on him. It's going to lose me a whole bunch of time here. I have to follow him through this little chicane. Set him up for the backstretch, but in the worst spot to catch somebody. There we go. Zoom on right by. Yeah, he's got a Miller livery on his car. Not my favorite of the Miller liveries. There were much better ones. The 89 livery of High Life Miller is better, and then in 1991 they went to that more familiar black and yellow livery. I think Ray Hall got the sponsor by then. A much nicer looking car. The brown was not the gold. It was supposed to be gold, but it kind of looks brown, especially in Indycar 2 here. It's not a pretty car, in my opinion. Being Hero now in front. It's just going to be a long race. I'm already starting to think about how many laps we have left to go. Just got to keep doing this. It's very sedate. Oh, I just nicked the wall there. Hope that didn't cause any damage. All right, I gotta really actually think here about changing the wings as we're going to come up to our first pit stop. I think now would be a good time to do it, even though I'm a little bit worried. I'll have more time to feel it out and go back to this setting if I don't like it. But I'm just nowhere on front straight speed. Hero all over the track, of course. Get around him. I think the car is fine from that little... That's about as hard as you can hit the wall without the car braking. .75 laps to go. So this is about as early as we could pit and still do it on one more stop. So this is definitely going to be a two-stop race today because there's no way we're going to make it to halfway. Just that one caution early, and that's been it so far. Got Bettenhausen in front here catching up too. The wrong way on the shift that time. Hopefully I wasn't on the straight or something. Whoa, car got loose there. I'm just worried with changing the wings that it's really going to upset the balance of the car. So I might go down. I mean, there's no sense doing a tiny change. So I might try 2 degrees on the front and then 1 on the rear. Keep the car understeery. But hopefully increase my straight line speed. So see if I can do that. I'm going to do what I tried to do in the last race and just kind of pause right before I get in my pit stall, because in real life you'd be able to talk to the crew and say what you want. And it's too hard to do, especially with full damage. It's too risky to try to adjust everything while driving, so I'm going to gamify it slightly. So I got around Bettenhausen there, sitting in 5th position. Well, it's good. It's as good as I could hope for, to be honest, right now. So, but we are almost a full lap down at this point on the leader, and hopefully I get like a yellow flag. That would be ideal. If we got a yellow flag right now, we'd be able to pit and do one more stop. Alright, AJ Foyt in front. I'm going to be just a little bit too far behind him, I think, to make the lunge. Let's see. Yeah, I just need somebody sitting here with me to adjust the setup. That wouldn't be distracting at all. Side by side with Foyt. I'm too much of a chicken to try to keep it on the inside there. There goes Cheever behind me a lap down. Cue the Jaws noises. I don't know, did I finish a lap down at any race last season? I'm not sure I actually did. much more speed this time on Foyt. Get him on the backstretch. Got Dobson in front now. This is who I started side by side with. So, come all the way around to lap him. Yeah, I did get a few DNFs last season, but the races I finished, I'm not sure I ever finished a lap down anywhere. I know, it's crazy to think, even last season with the arcade damage, I still got a couple DNFs, but I just don't know. I'm really, really hopeful I can make it through this today. Just taking it much easier. Just get the car through these crazy corners and just accelerate past the lap traffic here. Works out for me. I didn't really get slowed up at all. Yeah, so I've made the decision. We're going to change the wings on the pit stop. I'm going to go 2 degrees on the front and 1 degree on the rear, and that should make the car understeer a bit more, but it's better. I'm gonna have less downforce overall, so hopefully we'll keep the balance relatively similar to this, and then we'll see. I'm getting 173, 4, 5, 6 miles an hour. I went a bit deep there, but 176 miles an hour into turn 1. So we'll have to see after the stop what I'm able to get, and then contemplate removing more downforce as we continue on. But I'm going to try to stay out here as long as I can, because I hope I can catch a yellow flag. So otherwise, we're definitely going to go a lap down here in a minute. But who's ever coming up behind me, they're very quick today. And this wing changes to hopefully maybe get a little bit of pace on Bobby Rahal, but mostly make it easier to pass some of the traffic on the front stretch here, because it seems just about every car is faster than me right now. Car gets a little bit loose. It's weird how you can feel it even though there's no force feedback. I can still feel the car get a little sideways there. Alright, 68 laps to go. So we're well within the fuel window now. And hopefully I see the leader pit before me. That's the idea. Oh, thought I was over-revving the car. Fuel light, so now I no longer have a shift light. I'm going to complain about it every single time it happens. To really watch the RPM counter then. So we're going to get quite deep into this fuel run just because of that yellow flag, and we might be able to short fill on the last stop, which would be good because the car's a bit of a dog with full fuel. Oh, John Andretti just unlapped himself, so I think the leader's probably in the pits now. So that'll be good. So this means I won't go a lap down before the pit stop. Now would be the best time for a yellow flag. Michael Andretti probably in the pits there. So Michael Andretti, I think, was our leader. Should make sense. just have to watch for cars exiting the pits here. But yeah, Michael Andretti took his pit stop. He's back out. He's in 4th in front of me now. 22 seconds up the road. Got 3 gallons of fuel left. Car is feeling good. It's I can feel it's a little more oversteery than it was, but it's still very controllable. So it's just not fast. That's the issue. Okay, Bobby's in the pits. Emo's in the pits. Everybody's pitting. I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm going to be faster right now than those guys coming out of the pits as well. So hopefully I can make this all work out. Up to 4th. Past somebody who's in the pits. Up to 3rd. Oh, here comes Emo. He's going to be behind me. Thought he might go for the lunge there. Alright. I'm ahead of Emo, but we'll see if I can pull away from him here with light fuel. I can do one more lap after this at least. Alright, one more lap. Around Groff here. Slowest car on the track. Pulling away from Emerson, so he's definitely slower. Full fuel, that'll do that though, and I'll be plenty slow when I come out of the pits, so it'll probably hurt me in the full scheme of things, but I was just hoping I would catch a yellow flag, because that would be ideal. Alright, gonna pit this lap. We'll come through the final hairpin and I'll pause it, we'll set up the pit stop. Alright, paused it. So we'll reduce the wings. So I'm going to go down to 16 on the front wing and 17 on the rear wing. So we'll see how that does for the adjustment. Otherwise, we will take a full tank of gas for fuel and 4 new tires. They'll do that in the same amount of time. Yes, and I will watch my speed. In the pits. That was the downfall of last season. Alright, always risky when you unpause it. A bit slow there on the entry, but we'll get it in the stall. There we go. You see Allenster Jr. in front of me here. Alright, pitting from 5th place. Filling the tank. There we go. Car coming in behind me, and we'll just watch the miles per hour. I'm going to be a bit under it. If you even hit 81 miles an hour, you will get a penalty. So it's not worth it to go right at 80. Another car in the pits behind. Just wait for the end of the pit lane. Right there, we're good. Come out into turn 1. All right, I've got less downforce. And of course, cold tires and everything. So I got to feel everything out. Just take it easy. Make sure the car is drivable and everything with the lower wings. Interesting though that the right rear tire looks very worn, which is odd at a track like this, going to the left the whole time. So I think I'm still on the lead lap, but I'm the last car in the lead lap, sitting in 5th spot, and I think there's the leader coming up behind me. Alright, let's see what I get on the front stretch here. Of course, I've got full fuel now, so it won't be a perfect comparison, but Let's see if I can hit higher than 176. Yeah, it looks like I'm maybe a mile or two an hour faster, and with low fuel, I'll probably be even faster than that. So let's hope that's enough to get around at least the slow traffic without too much issue. Yeah, that might actually be Danny Sullivan, which I have totally forgotten about at this point. So Danny might be in first position, which is... I'm the biggest Danny Sullivan fan today, if I can't win. If I can't win today, I would take Danny Sullivan winning over Michael Andretti. Oh, a bit hot there. Yeah, I can't quite throw it in some of these corners the same way with the fuel and the wings. Alright, really got to settle in now. We're in the long part of the race. And I could still hope for a yellow flag, but it seems like in a few laps here, Danny might be able to overhaul me. I'm going to try to stay in front of him, but I'm not going to put myself at risk to do it. That corner feels the most different. It's just, that's like one of the only mid-speed corners on the track, and the car just doesn't have the same... It's not even grip, it's like same entry as it had before. I have to readjust to it. I know Danny's behind me, but he's not rating my mirrors, and it's been a couple laps, so... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can do here. 30, what am I? 24 seconds off of Ray Hall in front. There's Danny. I lied. He's right there. 24 seconds off of Ray Hall. Let's see what that is at the end of this lap. A few new lapped cars in front. Yeah, I'm definitely a bit quicker in the straight line. I think that'll be a good mix. I just had... to be safe and make sure the car didn't spin out or something, the downforce was helpful, but it really, really hurt me on the stretch, the front stretch. I'm probably faster in the back stretch just because of the wind. Maybe the wind direction's pushing me along. I don't think the AI are quite the same to you. 23.7 seconds. I actually think I gained on Bobby that time. It's a long ways, but I have enough laps to do that, so let's just keep pushing. Alright, Randy Lewis here in front. Get around him. I hope I can at least pull on these slow cars now. But he's hanging out there. Yeah, I got like that slight speed advantage now, especially on the inside line. That was very late on the brakes. Randy tries to throw it up the inside. What are you doing? Oh my god. Back marker of the year. He just went for the overtake. Oh my god, that's so frustrating. At least I survived. We'll live to fight another day, but I've got a bone to pick with Mr. Randy Lewis after this one. You can see Sullivan behind. He's right there. Just holding on to the lead lap right now. $57 laps to go. It does go by pretty fast, just being so in the zone with it. But I think the last stint's going to be pretty brutal if I make it that far. right, Didier Thay's here with Granatelli's car. Easy work. Coming up on one of the Newman Haas's, but I'm 99% sure that's Mario. Whole group of cars, and I have to hope they stay single filed on the backstretch. Mario's going to be looking to get around this lap traffic. I think the blue car is much slower. It's Jeff Wood, I believe. Get Mario here. Hopefully can get Wood as well. Come down into the braking zone. Go as deep as I can. Remember, I don't have as much downforce as I did before, but it worked. That was big. That was big. That's going to hold up Sullivan, I think, for a little bit at least. Scott Goodyear looking to the inside. I didn't anticipate that. Come on, Scott. He's going to work around Guerrero here. Guerrero's a bit slow. Haven't really caught on a car on the front stretch yet. That was odd. Nice and easy. Losing time here, but it's better to do it where it's safe. There we go. Get around him. So tense. I'm trying to relax a little bit here. It's like my shoulders. I'm just extremely tense. Trying to make sure I just stay away from the walls. You saw in qualifying how extremely simple it is to tap the wall and break the front wing, and if not, collapse the whole suspension just from a small wall hit, which is realistic to give it credit, but it's merciless. Get the red car, Groff. It was a weird line. Yeah, I am putting extra cars between myself and the leader, which is odd. And I think I might be gaining just very, very little bits on Bobby in front. Maybe not, though. I don't remember what the gap was, if I'm completely honest. So hopefully I see him at some point. .5. Is that closer? That might be Michael behind me now. I think it is. So I think Michael got around Sullivan, and Michael Andretti's looking to put me a lap down, and he'll very much want to do that as I tap the wall there. Oh my god. Alright. That was a very, very light wall tap. You would have just seen some dust fly up. Just a slight scrape. Alright, we are over halfway through this race. That was the first half of the Long Beach Grand Prix, and I'm still in it, which is what I would hope for. I'm in the top 5, which is also just more than I was thinking. And continue to try to stay on the lead lap here, but it seems inevitable at some point. We've run into a little less lap traffic as Hero bounces off the wall in front of me. There's one car in between us. But I think I've got Michael Andretti, the leader, coming up behind. He's not too many seconds off. He's got Danny Sullivan right with him, though, so they're battling for the lead. And I just need a yellow flag really bad. I feel like my car is a little bit more on pace than it was before, but I lost a lot of time in the first stint. So if I got a yellow flag, that would really help things. And hopefully can do it. Foyt now. Car feels like it's starting to slide a bit. I think on light fuel it might not be as good. Still 27 gallons of fuel, so we got a ways to go. I gotta make it to at least like 40 to go to be okay to make it to the end, and then from there it's all gravy. I can think about putting less fuel in the car, although I don't know how much I'm using per lap, so I might as well figure that out now too. Right at 27 gallons as I pass the line, so I'll try to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think Rahaal's pulling away from me, unfortunately. It's just, whether it be traffic or pace, I mean, it would take a yellow flag to catch him. I'm not going to make up 30 seconds just on pace. Alright, Michael's right there now. I'm not going to make it easy for him, but I'm not going to put myself at risk of not finishing. More important for me to get 5th than DNF, trying to hold off Michael. Eddie Cheever in front here. There's a bad exit to that corner. Oh, Eddie's pretty quick. Keep it up the inside. Oh my God. Eddie Cheever, madman. Oh, there comes Michael as I'm trying to duel with Eddie here. To lap him, Michael gets around. I'm officially a lap down now. Alright, maybe I'll get my lap back though. Oh, 3 wide I think. That's not exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, as Michael then squeezes me up the inside. Cheever then too. What is Cheever doing? Comes back on the inside. Alright, stay cool, stay cool. I just gotta finish the race. That's so infuriating. We're gonna do the same thing this lap too. I'm not gonna do that again. My God, Eddie. Here comes Danny as well. It was a good effort. But Eddie Cheever spoiled my attempt to maybe try to stay on the lead lap here. And he's going to continue to spoil my run. Give him a gesture on the way by. Got Tony Bettenhausen now in front. Ooh, that was a bit of a lunge. That worked out though. That was scary. I shouldn't have done that. All right. Oh, double shift there. 5th place then, but a lap down now. And, well, now I gotta hope that they catch Bobby and put him a lap down as well. A yellow flag now would be very bad for me. I guess we only have to do 104 laps here today, so I'm getting the easy, the easy Grand Prix today. It is how he did it in real life, isn't it, Gary? It's funny. I mean, I find myself looking for the parallels, but like, if any of you were around a few years ago when I did the 1989 Indianapolis 500 game, we did the actual full 500 miles on the original Papyrus Indianapolis 500. I've also done it since, obviously, in Indycar too, but the original one on, like, very close to the end of the race, right? It's simulating the 1989 500, and in our game, which is not pre-programmed to happen, Mo and Allenser Jr. crashed into each other. Which is just so insane how that can happen. But yeah, there's all these things. I mean, the ratings, I'd custom rate all these drivers, so I think I gave Eddie more aggression on purpose, because he was aggressive, so it just helps make it feel a little more authentic. Alright, we're about a half tank of fuel. I didn't keep track of my fuel numbers, there was too much going on there, but just over 21 gallons as I crossed the line there. We'll see, this is actually the perfect time to track your fuel, because mid-tank is when the car should be most balanced. Should average out at this point. That's true. A yellow is still good if they take each other out. That is very, very true. Still get mechanical failures. Those things could happen. So coming across the line, it is 0.97 gallons on that lap of fuel, which is, we'll call it 1, so it's almost exactly 1 gallon of fuel per lap. That makes it very easy. So when we come to the final pit stop, if I fill it at 1 gallon a lap, it'll certainly be good to the end, because we'll have a little bit extra based on that 0.03. Yeah, you can modify everything. Everything about this game. There's folks making tracks, there's tons of car sets. I rated all the drivers myself for this, but it's just a text file, but I've got some formulas. Yeah, it's just about a gallon a lap. So we should be good to fill it with that. We'll probably end up with slightly more, an extra gallon or so, which is perfect. Alright, just try not to let my guard down. I still gotta get there. And, do plenty of laps to go. There's still tons of time for stuff to happen, but it's definitely not going to be a win today unless something crazy happens, but a top 5 will be great for the points. Laps to go. Still under 30 seconds behind Ray Hall, all things considered, which if I was closer to him, I could potentially make something happen there. So we'll see. Never know. Alright, Groff in front here. I'm going to catch him at the perfect time. Slightly too early, but I got him anyway. Guerrero out of the final corner. Hopefully I'll drag him. I'll block him a bit. You seem less likely to get by if you're in line with him. That whole sequence with Cheever was more than I wanted. Whoa! No! Oh no! Guerrero! I think the car can still move, but I don't think they're going to be able to fix it. I'll try to get back to the pits. What was that about? Oh my god. He just absolutely took me out. I'll try to make it back to the pits, but usually when you get a damaged wheel, there is no fixing it. I cannot believe that. What was that move? Car feels real messed up. I blew 2 tires. I don't know. Let's see here. I can't go too fast. The car is like very, very weird to drive right now. Oh my god. Alright, we'll pit. Fairly certain this is terminal. But if it's not suspension damage, which would be amazing if it isn't somehow, but gotta get in the pits here and see if it's terminal or not. No, it's fixable. What? Okay, hold on. We're gonna look at what happened. So somehow the car is fixable. It might still have damage, so that, it's not, you know, this is a bad thing to happen, but somehow the car is not terminal. How did that what happened? Okay, let's go back. We'll take a quick breather here because that was ridiculous. I mean, he just thought he was going for the move and maybe I moved in front of him, but that was like your classic launch over the top of the car. Guerrero's out for sure. All right. We're gonna need more than the hammers, I think. So here we come down to the first corner. He looks to the inside. I mean, I guess I kind of turned in on him, but wow, he really nailed the wall. That is not my fault, like, not at all. What was going on there? Here's from the rear. He dives up the inside and just completely takes me out. Yeah, so here's from, like, my perspective, essentially. Oh my god. That's the stuff I'm talking about. If the AI was to do that on lap 1, I would restart the race, but, you know, we're so far into it. Oh my gosh, thank you, Paulina. 5 gifts. Thank you so much. I've never had somebody do that before. I don't know how this is fixable. You're exactly right. Here comes Guerrero just running out of talent completely. What was he thinking there? He was thinking, I'm going to take out the reigning champion from the race. All right, one final view. We'll look from, like, the blimp. I don't, like, he wasn't even going to make that corner. Ugh. All right. So somehow, we're going to look quickly at the standings as well. So I'm still in 5th, but, I mean, I guess I can only really lose to 7th right now because of the laps and everything. But it's yellow flag now, and I'm pitting. Depends on how long it takes them to fix the damage, whether or not I lose another lap. But I don't think the leaders were too far up the road, so we can hope. Maybe brake failure. I don't know. Let's see if it tells us anything. It's just going to say accident. Yeah, accident. But yeah, we're taking a full tank of fuel because I I didn't change anything. I really thought the car was done, because very rarely do you continue after you get wheel damage, but I guess I just blew the tires. Alright, so they're going to replace the tires, hopefully, and hopefully I get out before I go a lap down. Cross your fingers here that we get out of the pits before I go 2 laps down. Still in 5th, somehow. Alright, let's go. Just don't speed. I gotta try to, like, regain composure after all that. I don't know how... The whole sequence of events is blowing my mind right now. That, 1, Guerrero did that and just flew up the inside. 2, that my car is somehow not out of the race. Oh no, I'm like basically another lap down. If I was a little bit faster out of the pits, I might have beat the pace car there. That is why you always push 10/10ths. Let that live as an example. Yeah, I mean, in one way, Billy, I'm very unlucky that Guerrero decided it was his time to die. On the other hand, so don't want to hit Thays here. On the other hand, I'm extremely lucky that the car is still in the race and that I'm still in 5th somehow. Taka. Looking forward to 1991 and Paul Tracy. That is something to look forward to, I guess. Yeah, so I got full tank, new tires. We'll make it to the end of the race. It'll be close, but we'll make it to the end from here. So I guess goal here on the start is to just feel the car out. I think it'll be fine. I can't remember, I should know this, but I can't remember if in IndyCar 2 your car can have, like, long damage after you repair it. Unfortunately, there's no wave around or anything like that, so we're just going to be at the front of the pack, and I have to hope the few cars behind me are slow enough. It's John Andretti directly behind me, I think. Going green next time by. I have to hope they're slow enough that they hold everybody up and I can at least get away from the pack, get around Thays here, and then see what's up. Yeah, I don't know how... Trust me, I have played this game for 30 years. Almost 30 years now. And I don't know if I've ever really had a crash that big and it not be terminal on realistic damage. Well, nothing like a little bit of driver launching themselves over your rear wing to wake you up. Just a flesh wound. I mean, I'm so happy I'm still in it. So I'm racing to finish this race right now. And I am basically a full lap behind everyone. So if I can finish the race, I'll be extremely happy. If I finish in 5th, that'll almost be like a win today. Just under 40 laps to go. No more pit stops. Should be able to make it to the end and see how this all sorts out. Behind Didier Thays here, basically a lap down, but we're just holding on to the front of the pack. There we go, green flag. And just going to feel out the car here. I hope it's good. Thays is running away from me. But nobody's behind me for some reason. Brake a little bit early. Now I'm going to be very nervous every time we go down into T1 that a car is going to just come catapulting over. Alright. Car feels fine. Car feels fine. Feels like I just got new tires and fuel. Like it never even happened. Oh my god. Hey, we just saw this past weekend that Kirkwood jumped over Harvey, and he essentially continued in a very similar fashion, so... Was it possible in the 90s? Probably not, but... I'm very lucky. A miracle happened here today. You're right. It is the most durable car ever. I cannot believe that. That is, I have used all of my luck for the entire season just then. So, everything from here on out is going to be pain. Days might have to pit still. I think I saw some cars coming into the pits when the yellow came out, so I'm not sure what the strategy is right now from everybody. I have to think they all pit, and we're all good to go to the end, but you never know. You never know. Bobby's up to third now, Emerson in fourth, and then Sullivan and Andretti are duking it out for the win. Yeah, I think I saw Emo in the pits, you're right, so. The car feels very slow in a straight line. I don't know if Thays is just fast or if I have some, like, lingering aero damage from that. Car in front's Didier Thays. He's definitely a few laps down, and I don't know why he's faster than me right now. That's why I'm just questioning the fuel stuff, because maybe he didn't pit and he's on light fuel in the moment. There we go. Got a good run on him here, coming down to the backstretch. Get in front of him. Ooh. Park it on the apex. Alright, let's hope he doesn't catch me. Yeah, clear track. This is an ideal scenario. I mean, if I was leading the race, that'd be ideal, but this is working out all right. Just gotta do my laps. I think Andretti is right behind Thays, so I am expecting to go a second lap down here in a minute, which is going to seal the deal that I'm never going to catch Emo or Ray Hall today. But we'll see. A lot of racing to go. It's going to be close on fuel. I'm going to be right on the number, but I have to do one last lap, remember, so 35 gallons and 33 laps to go. We're good, but I'm going to have less than 3 or 4 gallons at the end. Car feels 100% fine. Feels like it did at the beginning of the race, so. Mechanics replaced both my wings, changed all the tires, polished the side pods, and we were good to go. Smacked me on the helmet and told me to get back out there. No splash and dash. We'll be fine with the fuel. I use about 1 gallon a lap, and so we'll be 2 or 3 gallons to the good by the end. Yeah, I mean, if I got a yellow flag, I would get at least pulled up to the end of the pack, and it would probably be worse just for driving. It's a long shot that I'm going to catch anybody else in this race. So it is all about finishing now. It is the cards I've been dealt today, and there have been some pretty interesting cards, I think. I'm essentially 2 laps down at this point. You can see there he is, right in the mirror, Michael Andretti being chased by Danny Sullivan. Now, can I help Danny get around Michael? Let's say I was to do that. Would that be harmful to anybody? I have cheated a DNF today. I feel whatever happens here is I run very wide there. If I make it to the end of this thing, I'm extremely lucky even right now, so. They're not that much faster than me. I mean, for all things, after all of this, they're almost on pace with me. Which is discouraging that I ended up in this position to begin with, but who knows? If I was this quick off the line, maybe I would have gotten into trouble somewhere else, and it would have actually ended the race. So you never know. All I do know is I absolutely love this sim. What other sim can you have experiences like this? It's just so good. It's a really good battle for the win. It's a shame I'm not in it. Kind of similar to, I won't spoil the Monza 66 video if you haven't seen that yet, but similar scenario, let's say. Yes, long season ahead, and it is a full season. Every race counts the same, so it's all about just putting consistency in. I really hope Danny can get around Michael here and get the win, because 2 wins in a row for Michael to start the season off is not ideal. Especially because he got the pole today as well. It was a bit close to the wall. Gotta be careful. It still would be very easy for me to end my own race. Yeah, it's not gonna be like last season winning the title, because I can't just be reckless and race like I'm qualifying every single lap and pass lap. I mean, the amount of times I probably hit lapped cars last season, just a little bit, those would all be race enders now. Although after today's crash, who knows? I don't know what to believe anymore. There's a lot more on the line, though, with every pass, every apex. So, you got to be really careful here to make the finish for all of these, and winning the championship is going to be so hard. I have it on the same difficulty as last season. I mean, the AI, they are rated differently because they're rated to their 1990 performances, but relative to the season, they're exactly the same rating formula, so everything should be the same as it was. But this shows you how dynamic this is. You can do the same race 4 times in a row, and each time will be different. The shame here is I might actually catch Emo. So I'm definitely catching him right now, but I'm going to have to do a whole extra lap on him, which is not going to happen. Yeah, the AI strength setting, I was talking about this in another video, it doesn't necessarily mean much because how fast the AI are is a combination of their ratings, which every car set can be rated differently. So I could rate all the drivers so that they're extremely slow, like the back markers. I wouldn't do that, but... So you can change the AI ratings to scale how fast they are. The tracks themselves have settings for how fast qualifying is and then how fast the race pace is. And so even on the same strength, you can adjust how fast they are on a given track. And then you have the actual percentage to scale them. So it's a bit tricky to tell somebody how fast the AI are, because I have them, I think they're on 97%, but that doesn't really mean anything. So you'd have to race the exact same track settings and car set as me. Alright, 24 laps to go. It's really dragging on now. Not been a lot of action here at the start of this last stint. But I am keeping this lap at least. As long as I don't catch Eddie Cheever, I think I'll be okay. I agree, Larry. There's enough action already. We're definitely bringing it home. Not going slow, but not going to take any risks from here on out. Catching up to King Hero here. Just try to get around to him. Nice. Oh, no, this is Scott Goodyear, actually. He was tough to pass early, but hopefully I can get him here on the backstretch. A little far back, but I think I'll have it. Oh yeah. Slip up the inside, the Canadian. A couple years out from his big Indy 500 finish. Always the bridesmaid, that one. Could debate that, I guess, about 95, but... really pulled out from Andretti and Sullivan there. I think a car just came out of the pits. It looks like Andretti got around Goodyear, so never mind. Around Randy Lewis here, up the inside, a bit of wheel to wheel. We got AJ Foyt in front. Foyt's still running, which is good. Come up the inside of Foyt here on the front stretch. Have a little speed on him now, which is good. Please don't Guerrero me, Foyt. Stay to the inside now. Oh, we do make contact. Hopefully that didn't damage the car. Yikes. You never want to hit anybody. You especially don't want to hit AJ Foyt. Alright, the car feels okay. I stayed to the right there because I was afraid if I go left, he'll do a Guerrero. But I think that all worked out. We just kind of tapped wheels and went on our business. The car feels fine, so I'm sure he will not be happy with me after the race. I could see a spanner flying at me in the future. All right, 20 laps. Just hanging on to 1 lap down. We got Michael right behind me. He's looking to put me a second lap down, and be very satisfied, I'm sure, to do that. Crazy race, though, if you've just jumped in. Some absolute moments happening. Not really my fault this time, I think. I think it's safe to say it was not my fault today. But never really had the pace so far to contest for anything, but worked my way up the grid. Started in 15th, which was plenty busy for the first stint, passing a bunch of cars, and then settled in, and then it went all sideways, but still in the race, which is so good, and just try to finish this one out. Hopefully I can hold off Michael here just for fun, but I'm not going to put myself at any risk to do that. Still hoping Danny Sullivan gets around him, but we'll see. We can hope. Got Bettenhausen in front here, all over the place. And fade to the left there, scoot up the inside. And I think we're catching Mario, who likes to make things interesting. Is that definitely a defender. Ooh, Graf goes into the pits in front. Interesting. I don't know if Michael has to make a pit stop or not. I have no idea what the strategy is. I think most of them stopped when the yellow came out for Guerrero and me. But that would be cool. I mean, I'm not gonna leap them, but it might make somebody else win, which would be amazing. Basically, biggest hope now is that I make it to the end, finish 5th, and that Michael somehow gets passed by somebody. I get around Mario at least. Whoa, I got real slidey there for a minute. Looks like Michael got around Mario. He would have made that easy for him. My eye on Michael there. He's going to go for the lunge eventually. And I'm going to make it easy for him, but I hope we don't have a coming together like with Guerrero. Although, if it worked out the same way, it might not be the worst thing in the world. Car feels great to drive today. It's a shame it's just a little too slow, or was. I wish I started the race on this wing setting. Something for the notebook for next season. All right, 15 laps to go. Really counting them down now. I think I have to do 15 or maybe 14. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's telling me how many laps I have left or the leader. .91 of 105. Ooh. careful there. Leader laps remaining. Okay, so I've only got 14 to do then. If it finishes like this, it'll be one of those weird things where I get the white flag and immediately they give the leader the checkers. I am very surprised as well that I've stayed ahead of him. He's never really approached me. Maybe he's content to just stay in line, battle it out. Oh, I think I might be side by side behind. Come on, Danny. Try not to watch my mirrors too much, but I see Danny all over him. That would be absolutely amazing. It's basically 4 points difference between first and second, and that really adds up over a season. Got one slower car coming back to me, but it's been a pretty quiet stint. I think everybody was somewhat packed up. We have a lot of cars out of the race. We saw a glimpse of the DNF list when I checked the results there earlier, but we'll take a thorough look after. And I think we got quite the rap sheet of retirees today. It's been a typical street race, I guess you'd say. That's the thing that blows my mind often when you look at the results. They look so realistic. With the amount of DNFs and the lapped cars and the gaps for the positions. You could swap it for the real results and you would believe it. Alright, we got Thays in front, so I've somehow done a whole lap on Didier. But he probably pit. That's my guess. He seemed very fast at the start of this, so I think he had probably a bit less fuel. Come on, Danny. It's just not enough space for him to spin and win here. Alright, here's Thays. Some reason on the inside. Oh, he's quick. Keep it interesting here. Just 11 laps. Keeps the inside line there. I was going to try to shoot up the inside, but there's no way to do it with him side by side. Almost scraped the wall there. Right, we'll try to get him down the backstretch. I have a feeling he's going to try to pass Groff as well. Oh, he does. There we go. I'll get both of them. Alright, that'll put a good gap between me and Michael and Danny. I really thought they were just going to pass me right at the start of the stint, but I was able to stay in front. 10 laps. 10 more times. With 12 gallons of fuel, we're totally fine on fuel. They got around him. It didn't take them long. Too bad Allenser Jr. went out early, because he could have really kept things spicy here. I think he was just as fast as Michael and Danny today, so really could have been between them. Rick Mears falling out as well. I mean, again, both of those two falling out have also helped me get this 5th place today, because I don't think I had a top 5 car. So they could have won instead of Michael. Tough to say what's better. Me finishing in 5th instead of 7th, or Michael not winning. Who knows? Michael could have a terrible rest of the season. You never really know. All right, 8 more laps. Really counting them down now. Just want to get to the end of this. Feels... Oh, Danny got around him. Yeah. All right. Danny, if you catch up to me, I'm going to let you go, buddy. But I might still hold Michael up a bit. We got a couple slow cars here. Danny might be fast enough to pass me. He might have just been behind Michael so long. I understeered so much there. We have a very long season to go, so there's... Although Michael looks very good right now, I think at the beginning of last season he didn't look quite as good, so... I think we thought Emma was going to be the main guy I would fight all year, but he ended up not really being a factor. Alright. Really to the top of the rev range. Just need my car to hold together for 7 more laps here. Oh my god! Did you see that? That was very, very nearly the same thing as Guerrero. Alright, Danny and Dobson here both get around me. Sneak to the inside of Dobson. That was a little scrappy there. Alright, Sullivan's ahead. I'm 2 laps down now. That ultimately means I just have to do 1 less lap. I was never going to catch anybody in front. That was almost a Guerrero thing. Again, similar looking car too. Michael's behind. That was such a lunge. Oh, I'm so happy Danny's going to finish in front of Michael. Hopefully I don't regret that later in the season when Danny Sullivan's got a massive lead or something, but I don't think Danny did super well in the first race, so it'll ultimately even things out a little bit. Alright, 5 more. I don't feel guilty about the AI. It's much more fun to treat it like it's real. I'm not... I don't actually think it's real. But when you think about the scenarios and the drivers as the real people they were, when they do stuff on the track, it just makes it feel much more fun. That's what's so much fun about racing. Like accurate AI and everything. Is they just adds to that story, makes it feel a little bit more meaningful than some random fantasy drivers or something. Definitely feeling it on the end of this one. These street races are going to be brutal this season, and this is one of the faster ones. Four more. Went up to 6th a little bit early there. I'm not sure how things like Detroit are gonna go. That track's really tricky. The downtown circuit in Detroit. Or Vancouver is one I'm really worried about. Meadowlands, of course, from last season. We saw how crazy that race was. Now with full damage and everything, I don't know how that's gonna work out this year. Oh, it looks like, yeah, Ray Hall got around Mo. Danny is absolutely gone in front, and I'm actually able to keep Michael behind me here. So, what could have happened? I could have maybe, if everything worked out the right way, I started on the right setup, certain incidents and things didn't happen, is Bobby is right behind him. Bobby is right behind Michael. Come on, Bobby. Oh, final lap already. Okay, the pit board was lying then, so we just have 1 lap to go. Oh, come on, Bobby, pass him. Oh, we got cars, another car back there too. Oh, I actually understeered quite a lot there. Definitely not going to try to hold up Michael here. Oh, Michael's around the outside. Come on. Cars suddenly no grip. That was a terrible first sequence for me. Final lap anyway. So Bobby's definitely not going to get around him. We'll come into the final few corners. So a couple less laps than I was thinking, but I guess that makes sense. The pit board was my laps remaining and not the leaders. But we'll come to the line through the final hairpin. I'm so happy to see the checkered flag here, even though I'm 2 laps down after everything that's happened today. Getting a 5th place. It's about a championship, not the individual races. 5th place finish at Long Beach. It was a scary race. Absolutely. There goes Bobby. Is that Teo? Might be Teo or John. Oh my god. What a race. What a race. I'm so happy to... I mean, at least I know, despite all the odds, I can survive the street course. At least one of them. So I can put that on my resume. Yeah, Bobby did get the podium. It's good. Thank you, Gary, so much. Even with all the problems. I mean, I feel like it wasn't even self-inflicted. Guerrero just had a death wish today. And, He decided it was time to take out the reigning champion, but didn't work for him. I don't know how to thank the Sunoco Papyrus crew for fixing the car, because this car must have been in quite the state when I got it in the pits there, but we'll come around, jump in the pits, and exit out. Oh my god. Quite the race today. There it is, crossing the line. You get the congratulatory cross, even when you don't win. We're gonna go through the final results and everything, and look at the points and all that. I very much appreciate everybody being here today. It's always a lot of fun to do these. I know I had a few folks reach out asking when this one was gonna be. So there's nothing better than doing something you like, and then people are asking for you to do more of it. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, let's take a look then. What a race. Let's save the replay, I guess. Thinking about the 60s right now. 1990 round 2. All right. Final results of the race. Final results. Danny Sullivan, sneaky guy, gets the win ahead of Michael Andretti. I think I'm happy about that, because Michael won the first race, so it's good to not have a repeat winner at least. But Michael's going to be very good in the points. Bobby Ray Hall from 12th on the grid finishes in 3rd. Great race for Ray Hall. It's a very good race for him, finishing that far up. Emo back in 4th. Oh, Paulina, thank you. A euro per championship point. Thank you very much. I guess I will get 10 points. We'll look at that in a minute, though. Emerson Fittipaldi gets the 4th place, so Bobby up on the podium. And a top 5 for Ryan Axelson. I think that's good. That'll show nice on the results sheet. The top 5. Ari Lyondike from 15th on the grid, mind you. So it's pretty good. Ari Lyondike back in 6th. From Eddie Cheever, tricky guy, finishes on the same lap. So I was actually on the same lap as everybody from... It got kind of jumbled up because of the caution there. So, but Eddie Cheever and Scott Brayton both finish on the same lap as myself and Lion Dyke. I'm going to go back a further lap for John Andretti, Randy Lewis, and Scott Goodyear. So Randy Lewis gets the top 10 ahead of Scott Goodyear. Didier Thay is back in 12th from Tony Bettenhausen. AJ Foyt finishes 14th from 22nd. It's a good finish for him. Dominic Dobson, who almost took me out there at the end, finishes back in 15th from King Hero in 16th. Mike Groff in 17th. And that's it. 17 of the 25 cars finished. So we had quite a few failures today. Mario, I wish that was Michael. But Mario has an electric failure with just 15 laps to go. Guerrero, that was his own fault today. Massive accident with our star Ryan here. John Wood back with an engine in 20th. Dean Hall finishes 21st with an electrical problem. Al Unser Jr. out after just 22 laps with an engine failure. Teo Fabi in the Porsche with a mechanical failure, so I guess we saw John Andretti right at the end there. Rick Mears with a fire. Oh my god. He had a real fire in real life. What was that? Indianapolis 500 in like 83 or 84 or something. He had a terrible fire on in the pits. But a fire today puts him out. Raul Boisel finishes last with an accident. We saw that really close to the beginning, just 5 laps in, we had a yellow flag. So it was an hour 41, still a fast race. It felt very long though from the driver's seat. 107 miles an hour, 10.6 second margin of victory, 2 cautions for 6 laps, and 6 lead changes. Yeah, little Al could have won that for sure. Oop, I typed something weird in there, but it'll be fine. All right, so we'll look then. There's our points results. So I'm going to pick up 10 points there, and we'll look at the season standings after 2 rounds. Michael's already out to a big lead. He's got 11 points over Bobby Rahal. Bobby Rahal's in second with that podium today. 2 top 5s for him. Danny Sullivan in 3rd place with his second, and I'm just a point off. So we're very close here for second, but Michael's already pulling a lead. He's got 11 points over Bobby. We better hope he's got some issues at Indy, which Andretti, Indy, seems likely. So hopefully he has an issue or it doesn't continue building that lead. All right, but 4th position there. Emerson Fittipaldi is a little bit further off. 20 points to Ari Lindijk, Rick Mears, Eddie Cheever, John Andretti up with 7 points. And Alistair Jr. holds on to a top 10 currently, tied with Scott Brayton for 10th, even though he DNF'd today. And don't worry, because indeed, Indianapolis is coming up next. Last year, if you remember, I won the race somehow. Somehow Ryan Axelson won the race. It looked like Pruitt was going to be winning towards the end, and he had to pit with just a few laps to go and gave us the win. So, have to hope for some of the same thing with Indianapolis, but we'll have to see. I don't know when exactly I'm going to do it. I hope it's not as long as it was between Phoenix and this one, but I'll get to it sometime soon, and we'll have to see what happens. But I appreciate everybody coming here today. I hope it was entertaining and everything. Crazy race for some of it with Guerrero almost taking me out of it, but overall was able to see the finish line, which, if you rewind, was my main goal today. So that's all for this one. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you all again next time. Have a good Saturday.